Now you're probably wondering, there's so many Sony cameras that are coming out right now, but I'm going to help you find out which one that you should buy. Find out coming up. Hi everyone, it's Adrian here from IAmJadoreTV, and this video is literally about to help you decide which of the Sony cameras that you need to be getting, or help you choose or find out which one is for which. Now I'll run down through the specs of the recent three, so that's the A7R3, the A7Riii and the Sony A9. So I'll run through those, explain a little bit, and then I'll help you out nearer to the end of this video. Starting with the latest release, I've got some specs here for you from the Sony A7Riii, and this one is starting with a 24 megapixel sensor. It's 10 fps, 4K video. It has with S-Log 3. It has an 89 shot raw buffer, so that's 89 consecutive shots using raw files, so that's the largest, most detailed file. I think I have seen videos of it do more than 89, but that is raw. If you're shooting JPEG, it's probably going to be considerably more. It has 693 phase detect AF points with 425 contrast AF points. So that's basically the same system as the A9, or same focus point as the A9, but not the same contrast. It has 15 stops of dynamic range, which is a lot. So you're going to get lots of details in the shadows and the light areas and the shadows. I mean, it's going to be a great portrait stuff, but I'll get into that into the end. This has no anti-aliasing filter, so you're going to get the most clarity and resolution out of the sensor. As much as it's pushing out, you're going to get all of that, so it doesn't have that. Obviously, not having that, you could get more moire in the pictures because it doesn't have anti-aliasing filter, but so far with what I've seen, it's not suffering from that at the moment. And the Sony A7III doesn't have the pixel shift. The pixel shift is what the A7R3 has, but then I'll go into that one next. And this one is retail brand new, great price, I believe. It's at just under 2,000, so it's 1,998, or some places it might be just 2 grand, but you're not going to get, it's not going to be higher than 2 grand unless you're buying the kit version, which is, I think, is about 2,200, around that, something like that. But it's the body only is 2 grand, which is a great price. The A7R3, now we've got a massive 42 megapixel sensor out of that, so you're going to get crazy quality out of that one. Again shoots 10 fps, which is fast enough for most things. 4K video again with S-Log 3. Now this is a lower 76 shot raw buffer again, but this is more of a you're going to be high quality portraits, so it's not really for sports, this one. So 76, that's raw again, so with JPEG gonna be considerably more. Now this has less focus points of 399 phase detection AF points, but has the same as the A7III with the 425 contrast AF points. This again has no aliasing filter, so again you're going to get the most clarity and resolution out of the sensor as possible. Now the A7R3 does have pixel shift, so that's basically the sensor shifts slightly and combines the images to make to create the let's call it a super image with lots of resolution and clarity. So it has that feature. I mean, it's really only gonna work with a subject that's like stationary, so like landscapes or something, or maybe in a studio, or if you tell a model to stay really still. But it's more, yeah, something that's gonna be more stationary. But this one is retailing at 3,198, so that is a considerably bit more than the Sony A7III. The Sony A9 has the same 24 megapixels as the Sony A7III. Had a whopping 20 FPS, so it's going to be great for fast moving sports and cars, stuff like that. It has 4K video, but it doesn't have S-Log. This has a 241 shot raw buffer, so that's crazy. That is a lot of, remember that is raw, so that's the biggest file possible, so that's going to be great detail. So if it's doing that with raw, imagine what it's going to do if you're shooting JPEG. Again, the 693 phase detection focus points, that's the same as this, say, A7 III, but it only has 25 contrast points. So again, you have to kind of weigh up which one you want. That's why they sort of say the A7's kind of merged between the A7R3 and the A9, because it has the 693 focus points of the A9, but the 425 contrast detect points from the A7R3. This has 14 stops of dynamic range for this one. This does has an anti-aliasing filter, so it beneficial, as you won't get any artificial like color patterns in your photos, but you won't be getting the full resolution as you would of the A7 III and A7R3. But in saying that, this does have the stacked sensor, so it's not really it's not the same as the A7 III or the A7R3, so the quality will, or maybe I haven't seen any comparisons yet, but it probably will be better, but it's still not as, let's say, portrait focused as the other two cameras. But this one is retailing at, well, this is their flagship camera, so it is retailing at £4,500, so that's £2,500 more than the Sony A7 III. So in my personal opinion of what each sort of camera is for, I think the A7 III is for well, they're all for professional. Let's start with that. They're all for pro photographers. The stuff that they have is amazing, so I think they're all for pro photographers. A7 III, sort of an all-rounder, but you still can shoot weddings with it. It's 10 FPS, so you can still shoot sports and cars, and it's going to be absolutely great for portrait work. So that's the camera that I will be upgrading to next. 24 megapixels is definitely enough. It's definitely enough for most things at all. I think it's for if you're a professional and you're not really doing prints or product photography that's for like for a lot of magazine work or even massive billboard prints. So if you're not really printing too much, you don't really need that really high really high clarity in your pictures, then the A7 III would be great for literally most things, especially with that 10 FPS. Now with the A7R3, if you are doing a lot of printing and you need stuff of high quality, then or that high megapixel count actually does matter, then I would say definitely go for that. I mean, obviously that's going to be a great choice for portrait work as well. Again, it's got 10 FPS, so you can shoot sports, but the buffer could be an issue in there. I don't know if you're holding it down to shoot, I don't know, 80 shots in a row, but it could become an issue. But that's definitely if you need that high megapixel count for that sort of thing. The A9 is definitely, I would say, more of a rough and tumble camera. You're only gonna take that hiking and do landscapes because of that 20 FPS, the stack sensor. You're getting that high good quality for sort of landscape work and things like that. But for most people, I think the A7 III would be the best choice to go with. I mean, it has 10 FPS. I mean, it has the 24 megapixels 4K video, the focusing system from the A9 as well. The eye for autofocus, I've seen videos on the eye autofocus. It is really good. the ISO range is reportedly the best out of all the cameras so far. I don't know what the A7S3 is gonna have. Maybe I might have 6K video, I'm guessing, because all of the bodies now have 4K, so to make that stand out more, I mean, they could put 6K in the A7S3. But so far the Sony A7 III, seen comparisons to that, is kind of knocking the rest out of the water with the ISO capabilities. But you leave your comments down below. What do you think? Which is for who? What are you upgrading to, if you're upgrading at all? And if you've switched from another brand to Sony, let me know in the comment section below. I definitely will be getting the A7 III. See, I'm getting so many. I'm just getting muddled up with my words. But it's good to have a great range and choice to go with. I mean, now all of these have come out, the predecessors now may decline. So if those are even good enough for you, the A7iii A7Riii, the A7iii. See, there's so many. I'll get muddled up again. But if the A7Riii and A7iii are good enough for you, I mean, the price will obviously drop a bit as these have come out. So let me know what you guys think, what you upgrading to. I'm definitely will be getting the Sigma 35, or I'll be getting the Samyang autofocus 35 with the Sony A7 III, because that's what I use. That's literally 99% of my work I shoot with is on the Sony A7 and the 35 Samyang manual focuser. So I will be upgrading to one of those lenses, either the Sigma or Samyang version. But I will be getting the A7 III. I mean, it's an all-round great camera. I mean, I could vlog with that. It's got the 4K, it's small, and the increased larger battery as well. So that's definitely a camera I'll be going for next. So, and it has a better sensor than the A7 II and the A7, so obviously again better quality images. But let me know what your thoughts are, what you're upgrading to, what you're shooting with currently. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram right on the screen right now, obviously, and also follow me on Vero, new social media app. I don't know if you've got it already, but definitely download it and follow me on there. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.